started playing golf with the guys out here in Larry Greim in 2008. So we've had a lot of laughs together and a lot of fun. The group takes an annual golf trip where we play golf 4 days in a row. And we've been to Mississippi, we've been to Oklahoma, and the last several years we've been going to the Lake of the Ozarks. Well, Larry and I usually ride together, and we usually room together. So I've really gotten to know him well. He's been a super friend. He speaks so highly of his family. He's so proud of his family. Our group also has a fish fry every year, and I provide the fish, and everybody is supposed to bring a side dish. Well, it's been a funny thing that Larry every year agrees to bring the coleslaw. And he says, well, I'm up all night fixing the coleslaw. Well, in fact, we all know he buys it at Price Chopper. He buys the smallest container he can find because he's cheap. And therefore, we all know we got to bring something else. He's been a super friend. I'm going to miss him, but I'm going to have great memories of him forever.
Well, I'm Duke Creason, and he's a special guy. We've lost, I think, 10 guys in our group since I joined, and Larry was very special. He was easy to get along with. He was always had the same temperament, and if he made a par or he made a birdie or he made a double bogey, it was always the same temperament. We had a lot of fun, and I'm really going to miss him, and I know the rest of the guys are too.
I'm Bill Thomas, and Larry was kind of a special one in our group. He played a little bit slow. We used to give him a hard time about that, but I could always count on him on the trips we went on. He would have the gin and tonic waiting on me when we get there. We're going to miss him, and he was a great friend. Thank you. I met Larry right here on the golf course. Been playing with him for years, and really going to miss him. He's one of the finest people I've ever met.
Larry's a real gentleman. Real gentleman, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. A lot of fun to play golf with and kid around.
Rather a newcomer to the group as far as golf, and I met Larry right here on the course. Knew immediately he was a very likable guy, really good golfer, great human being, I thought. I knew he was a KU fan. That's the only thing I had against him. Well, not really. I did tell him one time, though, that
I lost my only KU fan.
He came out in his KU sweatshirt and his KU hat. And I said, Larry, where'd you get that hat? He started telling me. I said, well, I didn't think you bought it. I figured nobody'd buy a hat look like that.
All right. First off, this is for Larry. And I have lost my only KU friend out here. I've known Larry a long time. I can remember one time we were going to go play golf in Warrensburg. I had Joe Bonamassa on there, and he said, you got somebody else? And I played some other music for him. So I'm going to miss him. He was a great guy.
Hello, Larry. We had a lot of good times playing golf, went golf trips together, had a lot of fun. One that really stays in my mind is the one we went to Mississippi. We had a lot of fun down there, especially the first night. See you, Larry.
I have known the Greim family all my life, the whole family. In fact, probably this is not known, but I learned to drive in the Henry J of the Greim prescriptions. Anyway, Larry is going to be greatly missed, and he always had a smile on his face every time I saw him, and he was always so nice to me. And I'm sorry for the family. Thank you.
Who was Larry Greim to me? Well, to me, Larry Greim was a part of the super senior morning golf group, but he was also a person that was kind of his own legacy here at the golf course. I grew up playing in men's club. I would oftentimes get put on Larry's team, and I always enjoyed his company, whether it be in the cart ride or when we got done, kind of eating afterwards. And he was a very positive man. He never had any negative words to say, to me anyway. I had the luxury to give him and some of his grandkids some golf lessons over the years, which I enjoyed to a great deal. One of the things that I will forever remember about Larry is his kindness he used to bring me up newspaper clippings from when I was in high school playing golf, of the records and stuff that we had as a team and individually. Just anytime that he saw my name in the newspaper, he would clip it out and bring it up to me, even if it was 10 years after the fact. So I will remember his jovial personality. He liked to make jokes. He was very quick-witted. He would come into the pro shop every morning for his tea time, and he would have something to say. We won't fault him that he was a Kansas fan, but there were many comments back and forth made about that. So I will miss his personality and everything that he did here at the golf course, not only for us as a staff, but for the guys that he played with in his group and for the golf course itself. He was a great community leader, and he will be greatly missed.
I am sitting here at the golf course, a place that Larry Greim spent a good deal of his time. I've played in a few tournaments with him over the years. I've got a couple of good pictures of he and I and Mike Russell and a couple of other guys that we played some tournaments with. I'm sitting here and have a picture of Larry and Cheryl at my wedding. So that goes back to 1981, which, as I calculate, 41 years. I came to town in 1974. And shortly after that, sometime, I forget, a year or two maybe, I joined the Kiwanis Club. Larry was a member. So, you know, I've known Larry for that long. Some of the things that come to mind with Larry specifically are our trips to Laughlin and Las Vegas for the spring basketball tournament, college tournament. Larry would sit there with his KU jersey on. Most of the rest of us were Missouri fans, but he and Nate, at least, were the Jayhawks, and the Jayhawks were usually there. Missouri was there once in a while, but it was a good rivalry over the years. So he was a good Jayhawk fan, and which the Jayhawks weren't exactly my favorite team, but it was a friendly rivalry. So I do remember some of those discussions and plenty of those games over the years. I think maybe I might have even gone to Lawrence a couple of times with Larry over the years to see maybe Missouri or another game. I think he had, well, I know he had season tickets for a while, and so those are some of the times I remember. Let's see, what else? I can remember that years ago when he was down at the, I believe it was the Browns Pharmacy, I think, next to the Hall of Waters. And he was in there for a few years. I would go by from my office towards my house and drop by and see Larry every once in a while on the way home. And we'd discuss a few issues, none too important, but have a few laughs. Then he was out at the, across from the Price Chopper there in that shopping center, and for years at the Browns Pharmacy. And then I was out there more than once, to say the least, picking things up, and we'd discuss events, etc. We also would spend every Monday night during football season watching the Monday night game of the week at Larry's house. We'd have a few small friendly bets. There was about 6 of us there, Nate and I and Larry and Jim Ivey, Jack Hafferty, good friend, Larry, of course. We'd sit there and discuss the week's events and a little football maybe, but that's about it. So those are just some of the things I remember right now that come up that over the years I've spent time with Larry. A good guy, good Excelsior person, always Excelsior was always on his mind and was first in his mind. So he was a good friend, and this is, you know, it's a little sudden, but he had a good life, and I was very happy to know Larry and spend some good times with him. So those are my thoughts right off the bat. Appreciate doing this.
Okay, well, I've been asked to speak about our old buddy Larry Greim, who we lost unfortunately a week or so ago. Larry and I have been good friends for a long time. Sometime back, he and his wife Cheryl moved into our neighborhood, and have really enjoyed Larry's company for years and years. We have traveled to a spring big boy trip many times in the spring of the year to watch the NCAA basketball tournament and play golf in Laughlin, Nevada. Larry's played golf at Excelsior for I don't know how long. We always had a friendly rivalry because I went to school in Columbia, Missouri, and am an MU graduate and alumni. And Larry is a KU/Kansas Chicken Hawk alumni. So we always had good conversations about athletics. Larry liked golf, I like golf. Larry liked basketball, I like basketball. Larry liked all sports, I like all sports. So we had a lot in common. One thing we're going to miss about Larry is he was our designated UPS delivery man. For some reason, my daughter Bailey was always getting something delivered from UPS or Amazon, and it would always show up at Larry's front door. So here come Larry delivering the package for Bailey down to the house. Larry is a longtime Excelsior resident. We're going to miss him very much, but I do think Larry had a good life and was awfully beneficial to our community.
This is a tribute to Larry Grimes, who was a friend of mine. I've known him for 16 years. First met him when he was my pharmacist, and then we met him out here and we played golf together for years, and I always saw him every Sunday morning at church. We got to be really good friends, and we will miss him dearly. I guess the main thing I'll remember out here was Larry was always helpful and giving when he was out here on the course. He was happy to help you try to get yourself straightened out, and he was happy to give you a jab in the behind if you did something stupid. And he would play a practical joke on you every once in a while, just to get even. And so I will always remember Larry out here, and his brother BJ.
So when Austin asked me to do this, it was kind of funny. I had just sent Cheryl and Kevin and Robert a letter talking about what a wonderful man Larry Greim was. And my memories start way back as a kid on Saturday mornings going to breakfast down at Ray's Lunch with my dad, and we would always get to take a trip to Brown's after to get some candy. And Larry was almost always working on Saturday mornings, and was just the kindest, most welcoming person to my sister and I, the little kids in there grubbing for some candy, but always made us feel welcome and special and important. And even as a little kid, I recognized him as such a wonderful community influence. Then I got to know him a little bit better working up here at the golf course. Just a gentle soul and one of the kindest people I've ever been around. Never a bad thing to say about anyone. Raised two of the finest young men I have the privilege of knowing, and he and Cheryl have been pillars in this community for a long time, and Larry will be greatly missed.